India's fastest growing airline and one of the most interesting aviation markets in the world. I'm talking about Akasa Air in India. It's going to be 2 months more that you will complete 2 years. Joining me is Vinay Dube, CEO of Akasa Air, to talk more about this. Vinay, thanks for joining us on this chat on Business Today Television. 2 months to go. Tell me, how have the 22 months been like?
Karishma, thank you. It's been wonderful. It's been hard. It's been incredibly rewarding. It's a multitude of emotions, but overall, I'd say we're tracking far ahead of plan. I think a large part is the team and the hard work of the 4,000 plus Akasa employees we have. I think a large part of it is also India Inc. Right, the India story, the growth in GDP, the growth in GDP per capita, urbanization. So we're extremely pleased with the last almost 2 years now.
Great. You've forayed into international expansion, second destination that you've added to your list. Tell me, has the strategy been on track? Do you see the pipeline going as you planned?
Yes, in fact, there's destination 3. While perhaps we were sleeping overnight. So we're flying to Doha already. We've announced Jeddah first, but recently Riyadh as well. So that will take us to 5 daily international flights, which is quite good. And as you were saying, the strategy is working exactly as we imagined. We are the fastest airline ever in India to fly international in about 20 months or so. And we think this international focus is going to continue. So this is just the first of what is going to be many more destinations internationally to come.
Right. And tell me, from a broader perspective, how do you see the sector going? There have been a lot of supply chain issues that we were talking about. The outlook that CAPA India just mentioned talks about a loss of close to about $1.3 billion for airlines, Indian airlines, in the coming year. How do you see the sector foraying in the coming months?
Yeah, I see, honestly, I see overall nothing negative in the sector. I think there is an amazing growth ahead of us in every respect for airlines, certainly, but everyone associated with the aviation ecosystem. And like I said, part of it is the airlines, the massive, orders that we've placed, but a part of it is just the India story. India is growing. Every facet and aspect of India is growing. And I think that's the way it's going to be for aviation. We firmly believe, and I've used these words before, this is the golden decade for airlines, not just for aviation, but for airlines in particular. There's going to be growth, there's going to be stability.
Indian Airlines.
For Indian Airlines, absolutely. For Indian Airlines in particular, there's growth, there's stability, there's the development of people's careers. So it's great for airline employees. And I think it's going to be wonderful for airline customers as well. So very, very excited about the future. I think whatever you hear in terms of ups and downs and a negative element here or there, we will look through and see through all of it here in the next decade in India.
Vinay, tell me about the aircraft deliveries. Are they on time? Are you facing some issues? Because as you understand, with Boeing, you've had this long agreement going on. Are you looking at some other options?
Yeah, so Karishma, the way I like to characterize this issue is that whether we get 20 deliveries or 18 deliveries or 15 deliveries in a year, less or more, it's the difference for us between growing at 90% or 110%. And so we don't look at this as an issue.
That's the mark you're giving me.
I'm speaking figuratively. If you look at the last year, we grew 300%. So the real numbers are much higher, but I'm speaking figuratively that the delivery schedule, whether we're up or down 1 or 2 or 4 or 5, it doesn't make a difference to what Akasa's future holds for us, our employees, and our consumers. And so this is not something that worries us. We think we've got a great partner in Boeing. We think they make an excellent aircraft. We're very happy and very excited with the way that partnership is going. And so there's just lots of growth, irrespective of whether we're 1 or 2, early or late.
The deliveries are late, is what you say, but they are on a safety and secure way.
100%. There's absolutely no compromise to safety. In terms of our supplier, but certainly in terms of Akasa as well. It's incredibly important to us, and we absolutely 100% stand by what the manufacturer is doing and what we are doing as far as safety is concerned. It's something that we don't take, for granted. There is no, complacency when it comes to safety, and we're always looking at how to looking how to make the industry safer with every day that goes.
And Vinay, you've been vocal about this for some time. One quick question: tell me, how have the summer trend been like for Akasa in terms of traveling, pricing, occupancy?
I think very good. I think very good. It is clear that there will continue to be an outpacing of demand relative to supply. You heard Kapil talk about that as well, and for the foreseeable future, not just 1 or 2 years. Which is why I say it's a great time for airlines, but also with the growth, it's a great time for consumers. We've opened destinations at Akasa. We've opened Port Blair. We've opened Gwalior, Ayodhya, Srinagar, Doha, Riyadh, Qatar. I mean, and to have that kind of expansion from a consumer perspective is great. But because demand is so strong, I think it's good for airlines as well.
Vinay, one last question, and I'm going to make it slightly creative to get you in a poetic way. 2 months to go, and you definitely complete 2 years. So the baby has grown. Tell me, what are the plans for your 2-year celebration?
I'm not sure there's any kind of fantastical celebration that'll get me poetic. First of all, poet and poet and Vinay don't go together. Remember, I'm a math major, and these two don't jive. So no great celebration. I think it's going to be a pat in the back for every single employee of Akasa, because it's our employees that have allowed us to come to this 2-year mark. So it's a recognition of their hard work, but then just heads down and focus on the future, because there's a lot to be done still.
Great, but a celebration with Cafe Akasa.
Yes, always.
Okay, thank you so much, Vinay, for joining us, and we wish you luck for the upcoming months.